Coach, obviously going into the past couple of games, you guys were undermanned without Micah Parsons, without DeMarcus Lawrence. You saw flashes from your younger guys, Chauncey Tyrus, and then Carl Lawson contributed. Things didn't go as well for you against the Lions. But what can you take away from what the young guys showed at the edges in Pittsburgh that kind of pay it forward over the course of a long season?
Well, I mean, it's good that they are getting reps now, because later in the football season we're definitely going to need some young guys to step up, and so it's very, we taking some lumps right now though, because you rather have your big four, and the big four to me, obviously Parsons, Lawrence. Sam Williams, a lot of us forget about Sam. Sam was definitely going to be in that rotation, and we was fortunate enough to get a good guy, Marshawn Neely, in the draft. So you're looking at really four quality, top ends there, and then you wake up and now all four of them are gone. But my hat comes off to Chauncey T. Wheat, KJ coming in, stepping in there, and so it's tough on those guys, and we're going to push them. I'm personally going to push them real hard, and get as many practice reps to them as possible. I don't know any other way to help somebody get better than to get reps. You just have to get enough reps, a lot of reps. And we won't be able to get as many as I want us to get, with that younger group of DNs. But, we certainly going to push very hard. I'm going to come out early and stay late with them if they're willing to make sure, individual times that we're getting them meaningful reps and individual drills. That's the only way, to me, that I became a good defensive end, and that any defensive end can become a good defensive end, is just getting those reps.
One thing Coach Zimmer said, you guys are playing blocks well, not shedding blocks. This is probably a dumb question. How do you shed blocks
Reps,
better?
individual reps. You see us down there hitting the sled, those kind of things, and some of it sounds, elementary, if you would, like, okay, just get off the block and go make the play. Well, the other guy's getting paid too, so they're not just going to let you go, obviously. But it is, more technique has to be utilized, and doing it walk-through pace is one thing, but when the bullets are flying for real, that's, when if you don't have that many reps of going into doing something, when you really need it, you're not able to call on that muscle memory quick enough to shed and get off and go make the play. And so no other way of doing it, just, individual reps, working shed drills and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's almost like, training camp mode. Not, we ain't gonna be out here all day like we can in training camp, but just guys, we got to get a whole bunch of reps at the defensive end position. It just hit me the other day. I was telling you, you look up, it's like, man, this guy just been here for 2 weeks. He had to play 30 snaps the other day. You know what I mean? But they're not going to cancel the game for us because of that. So we just got to push, and get the guys ready as much as we can to go out there and do it.
When you played, the rules, the practice rules, and the training camp rules were different.
Yes.
And so now you can't tackle during the week in a sense. Or when you play, how can you help players? Because you've had a lot of missed tackles the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
last week. How do you?
Well, I think we're doing. Our head coach. I know he's a more offensive-minded guy, but my hat comes off to him because he's on top of tackling with us, and he makes it an emphasis. Hey, every single body that has a chance to ever tackle somebody, make sure we're working on it in practice. And so, I look for that to improve. Just like I was just saying, reps. And if you get more reps at tackling, and we're not going to go full speed into a tackling circuit, but just getting in the right position. A lot of times you see guys miss tackling. It's just you reaching out as opposed to running your feet all the way to that guy. And so we have to correct that, and no way other than to do it than to make sure, hey, we're repping it in practice. And so, the head coach has placed emphasis on it, and you see it start to take place in practice, and eventually you're going to see it show up in games.
Micah told us he never really missed games with injury. What has he been like as an observer?
I feel sorry for him. I mean, because I've been there as a player myself when, you get hurt and you want to go play and you just wish you could rewind the clock to avoid that injury. But it happens. I can't think of a guy who made it through this thing without, getting a twisted ankle or something at least. And so, but my hat comes off to him. He's on the sideline trying to help guys, get better and all that kind of stuff. He comes out to practice. I see him around more and more now. And I encourage him, hey, the same guys that's doing your rehab did my rehab. It was a long time ago, but those guys know what they're doing, and so make sure you listen to them, and they'll get you back out there quick as possible.